My husband. That's how I still catch myself starting the story, even though the divorce petition has been sitting on the kitchen table for 3 weeks now. My husband used to say, no Thanksgiving was complete without the caramel-sauced pumpkin pie I baked with my own hands. He'd stand in the kitchen, sneaking crumbs while I rolled out the dough, wrap his arms around me from behind, and whisper that he was the luckiest man in the world. But tonight, that luckiest man is spending the holiday in Vermont with his 24-year-old assistant's family. And me, the queen of baking. I'm sitting here at table 6 in a roadside Denny's off the New Jersey highway, staring at a menu slick with grease and trying not to throw up from the smell of burnt fried eggs. My name is Sarah. I'm 32, and this is the first time in 10 years I've eaten dinner alone on the most important holiday of the year. My phone is on the table, face down. It has to be. Because if I flip it over, I'll see dozens of texts from my mom, my sister, and even my closest friends. Did you make it to Derek's yet? Is everything okay? Send me a picture of the turkey. I lied to all of them, a perfect cowardly lie. I told my mom that this year my husband and I were taking a trip to reignite the spark, so we wouldn't be coming home. I told my in-laws, ex-in-laws, no, still in-laws, that I had to go take care of my sick mother. I put on a busy, happy little play so no one could see the naked truth, that I'd been left behind, that the marriage everyone admired had been hollow for a long time. What I fear most isn't loneliness, it's pity. I can't stand the idea of my mother looking at me with watery eyes, or my sister sighing and saying, I told you, he can't be trusted. I'd rather sit here and chew on my pain alone in this lousy diner than become the poor woman in my family's eyes. What can I get you? A raspy voice yanks me back to the present. A waitress is standing there, pen in one hand, the other braced on her hip. Her name tag says Brenda. She looks at me, not smiling, but not nosy either. Just the bone-deep tiredness of someone working a holiday night shift. I'll take the turkey dinner and black coffee. Extra hot, I mumble. Brenda nods and walks away, her rubber soles squeaking on the sticky floor. And I'm alone again. I look down at my ring finger. The 2-carat diamond is gone, but the indentation is still there. A pale strip of skin, slightly sunken, standing out against my tanned hand. It's like an invisible scar, reminding me of a vow that's been broken. I rub that white mark with my thumb out of habit. It still feels strange, empty. 10 years of my youth. Plans to buy a house, dreams of having kids, retirement vacations. All of it evaporated after one sentence. I don't feel happy anymore, Sarah. Around me, the diner starts to fill up a little, but the crowd only makes me feel more out of place. At the table across from me is a family of 4. The little boy is yelling for ice cream while the dad laughs and tries to calm him down. In the corner is an elderly couple. They don't say much, just quietly cutting food for each other. They have each other. They belong in some picture. And I'm like an extra puzzle piece tossed under the table. I pull my wool coat collar higher, trying to make myself as small as possible. I feel like an intruder, a gloomy ghost ruining other people's holiday. The food arrives. The turkey looks pathetic under a layer of brown gravy that's congealed like jelly. I pick up my fork, but my hand shakes. I'm not hungry. My stomach is knotted tight, like someone's wringing it out. I miss my warm kitchen. I miss the cinnamon-scented candles. I miss feeling needed, busy, making dinner for the person I loved. Now I'm useless. A failed wife, a lying daughter, and a lonely woman eating at Denny's on Thanksgiving night. Tears start to fall. Not loud, heaving sobs, just hot tears, silently sliding down my cheeks, salty and sharp. I grab a napkin and wipe them fast, afraid someone will see. I hate myself like this. Weak and pathetic. I'm about to get up, pay, and run to my car so I can cry until there's nothing left. I can't sit here another second. The air feels too suffocating, too full of the scent of happy families, or at least normal ones, squeezing the life out of me. But just as I reach for my wallet, a rough hand rests lightly on the edge of my table. Not to deliver the check. Along with it, a small plate is gently slid toward me, and with it, a voice. No longer professional like before, but lower, carrying a strange kind of understanding. Don't hide it. Everyone here can see. I look up, startled, my heart pounding like I've just been caught doing something. I freeze. Her words, "Don't hide it," feel like a needle punching straight through the balloon of pride I've been straining to keep inflated. My first reflex is to deny it. I swipe at my tears with the cuff of my sweater, forcing a crooked smile. No, it's nothing. Just dust in my eye, I stammer, grabbing my purse. I'm fine. I'm about to leave. But Brenda doesn't budge. She doesn't hand me the check either. Instead, she nudges the little plate she brought right up to my hands. On it is a big slice of pumpkin pie, the white whipped cream on top melting slightly. Only the crust along the edge is broken, jagged, and messy. "Don't rush," she says, no longer sounding like a server talking to a customer, but like an older sister ordering a stubborn kid. "This one's on the house." The kitchen cracked the crust getting it out of the pan. They were going to toss it because it wasn't up to serving standards. But I told them to save it. Because I know someone in here needs a little sugar more than they need things to look pretty. She pulls out the chair across from me and sits down. That one move, a waitress sitting at a customer's table during her shift, shatters every invisible barrier between us. She exhales, loosens the apron tied around her waist, revealing faded jeans underneath. "Eat." Brenda jerks her chin. "It's ugly, but it's still sweet. Kind of like life." I stare at the broken slice, then at Brenda. Under the fluorescent lights, I finally notice the wrinkles around her eyes, the calluses on her hands as she turns her coffee cup in slow circles. Something in her steady gaze makes me stop resisting. I lift the fork and take a small bite. The sweetness of pumpkin and the punch of cinnamon melt on my tongue, soothing the bitter burn that's been sitting in my throat all night. "Why are you doing this?" I ask quietly. Brenda shrugs, eyes drifting to the window where the snow is falling harder. "Because 10 years ago I was sitting in that exact seat. Same Thanksgiving night. Same crying over some awful man who cleaned out my savings and took off." I stare at her, eyes wide. "Surprised?" She snorts, the smile sad but proud. "You think you're the only one with a secret tonight? Kid, look around. Don't just glance. Really look." Brenda tilts her head toward a man in a wrinkled suit in the corner, someone I'd assumed was a failed businessman who'd missed his flight. "That's Mr. Thompson," Brenda whispers. "He didn't get fired. He's the best heart surgeon in this whole area. His wife died on Thanksgiving 3 years ago. Every year, right around this time, he comes in here, orders exactly what she used to love, just so it doesn't feel like he's sitting alone in that big, cold mansion. He's not lonely because he has no one. He's lonely because the one person he needs isn't here anymore." My chest tightens. I'd judged him as a loser, when he was carrying a grief more beautiful and tragic than mine by 1,000 miles. Brenda points again toward the counter where an older truck driver is hunched over his food. And that guy is Joe Wheels. Looks rough and grumpy, right? He's hauling an interstate load to pay for surgery for his youngest daughter. He eats fast not because he's afraid someone will steal his food, but because at exactly 9:00 p.m., 5 minutes from now, he's going to video call home to tell his little girl goodnight. Watch. Just like Brenda said, the older driver pulls out a chunky phone and props it against the napkin holder. His weathered face suddenly relaxes, softening, brightening, when the screen lights up. I can't hear the sound, but I can read his lips. I love you, princess. I feel ashamed. Ashamed to the core. I've been sitting here drowning in self-pity, acting like the victim of the entire world, treating this place like a refuge camp for losers. But I was wrong. Completely wrong. See? Brenda turns back to me, her voice dropping, thoughtful. This isn't an island of discarded toys, Sarah. It's a rest stop. Everyone in here tonight, me, you, all of us, we're carrying something too heavy to keep walking with alone. She reaches across the table and taps my left hand, right where the pale mark from my wedding ring sits. Her hand is rough, warm, and steady. I've watched you rubbing that finger the whole time, she says gently. It hurts, doesn't it? Not on the skin, right in here. She presses a hand to her chest. I nod, tears spilling again, but this time not from self-pity, because I feel understood. I feel so pathetic, I admit, my voice breaking. My husband left me for someone else, and I lied to my whole family just to hide out here. I feel like I don't deserve to sit at any holiday table. Brenda shakes her head hard. Listen, your husband didn't leave because you weren't good enough. He left because he doesn't know how to value what he had. And you're not here because you're running away. You're here because you're hurt. And when you're hurt, every animal needs a den to lick its wounds before going back into the woods. She looks me straight in the eye, her gaze drilling into my chest. But this den isn't as cold as you think. She gestures around. Look, no one here is laughing at you. No one here is pitying you, because everyone has their own scars. What do you think family is? People with the same blood sitting around a turkey, pretending everything's fine? Not exactly. Brenda smiles, an actually warm smile. Sometimes, family is strangers sitting under the same roof while a snowstorm is falling outside. It's the guy who shares his phone charger with you. It's the woman who slides you a broken crust slice because she knows you need sweetness. It's people who don't demand you be perfect, who don't ask when you're getting promoted or when you're having a baby. They just need you to sit there, breathe, and make it through tonight. I look around the diner again. This time, the gray filter in my eyes seems to have lifted. I don't see lonely ghosts anymore. I see Dr. Thompson giving me a small nod when our eyes meet. I see Joe Wheels waving goodbye to his daughter through the screen with a satisfied smile. And I see Brenda, this stranger with dark circles under her eyes, looking at me like I'm a little sister who finally found her way back. For the first time in 3 weeks, the heavy feeling in my chest eases a little. The broken pumpkin pie in front of me suddenly looks strangely beautiful. It isn't perfect. It's cracked. But it's real. And it's here. Right now. Thank you, Brenda, I whisper, but the words come from the bottom of me. Brenda pats my hand and stands, straightening her apron. Don't thank me yet. If you really want to thank me, help me out. The dishwasher just broke, and the kid who helps in the back ran off to hang out with his girlfriend. I blink at her. Wait, what? Brenda winks. Kidding. But seriously, Mr. Thompson just ordered another bottle of wine. Cheap stuff, but he wants to buy the whole diner a glass. You want in? Or do you still want to sit here and gnaw on your sadness alone? I look at my cold turkey plate, then toward the counter where people are starting to drift closer together. Something strange rises in me, an urge to step out of my safe cocoon. I take a deep breath. The diner no longer smells like greasy food. It starts to smell like life. Wrong. I stand up. My legs are a little numb from sitting too long, but my chest feels light. I lift my coffee cup, inhale like I'm about to step onto a stage, and walk toward the pushed-together tables in the middle of the diner, where the lonely islands are drifting closer. Mr. Thompson, the cardiothoracic surgeon, is the first to notice me. He raises a paper cup of red wine, the cheap stuff the diner sells for $5 a glass, and smiles. It's a gentle smile, hiding behind eyes hollowed out by longing. "Welcome," he says warmly. "No invitation needed. Just bring a story." I take the empty seat next to Joe Wheels. The big man, both arms covered in tattoos, hurriedly clears away his pile of napkins to make room. "Sit, kid," he says in a deep but friendly voice. "Don't be shy. We don't bite. Unless you're a turkey leg." Everyone laughs. The laughter breaks apart the heavy air and the drone of the AC. For the first time tonight, the sound in this Denny's doesn't feel like annoying white noise. It feels like music. Brenda brings out a big tray piled with hot fries and a few more crumbled slices of pumpkin pie. She sets it in the middle like she's serving a royal feast. "All right, the insomniac's party starts now," she declares, and pours herself a cup of water instead of wine. For the next hour, something magical happens. No one asks what I do for a living. No one asks why I'm alone. No one stares at my bare ring finger. Instead, we talk about small things, real things. Mr. Thompson tells us about the first time he met his wife at a laundromat, how she scolded him for bleeding color onto a white dress shirt. He tells it not with melodrama, but with deep gratitude for having been loved. Joe talks about his little girl in the hospital, and his fierce belief that she'll get better so they can go fishing together this summer. And Brenda tells stories about the weird customers she's met over 20 years on the job, until we're laughing with tears running down our faces. And me? I hear myself telling the story of the first pie I ever burned. I talk about how much I hate green beans. I don't talk about the divorce, but I don't hide my sadness either. I'm just present. I'm Sarah. Not the wife who got left. Not the daughter who lied. Just a person looking for warmth beside other people. When the clock hits 11 roadside p.m., Mr. Thompson stands and taps his paper cup. "I want to raise a toast," he says, his voice a little shaky. "To the people who can't be here tonight, and to us, the ones who chose to be here for each other." We clink cups, paper cups, ceramic mugs, plastic tumblers, knocking together with a cheap little sound that isn't elegant at all, but to me, it's the sweetest chime in the world. A swallow of bitter black coffee slides down my throat, mixing with the sweetness of broken pumpkin pie into a strange aftertaste, the taste of acceptance. I look around the table again. This isn't the family I dreamed of. No white tablecloths, no scented candles, no crisp, pressed outfits. This is a patchwork of strangers, full of scars and worries. But in that exact moment, I realize I belong here. I pick up my phone and flip it over. The screen lights up with my mom's text. "Happy Thanksgiving, sweetheart. Wherever you are, I love you." This time, I don't feel guilty. I don't reply with some polished lie. I just text back, I love you too. I'm having a really wonderful dinner. And it's true. I leave the diner after the snow stops falling. The air outside is brutally cold, but I'm not shaking like before. I walk into the parking lot and glance back through the glass. Inside, under the yellowed lights, Brenda is smiling as she cleans up the pie crusts, and Mr. Thompson is patting Joe's shoulder. They're still there, keeping that little flame burning in the winter night. I open my car door and sit in the driver's seat. The cold leather smell hits me, but this time I don't cry. I look at the pale indentation on my ring finger. It's still there, white and empty. My marriage is over. The pain is still real. Tomorrow I'll still have to face lawyers, splitting assets and pitying looks. But tonight, I know I'll be okay. Because I learned a lesson people might need a whole lifetime to understand. Family isn't only the people who share your blood. Family is the people who choose to stay with you when you have nowhere else to go. Sometimes family is a waitress who slips you a free slice of pie, a doctor who shares his loneliness, a truck driver who gives you his seat. They're guardian angels without wings, just stained aprons and wrinkled clothes. I used to believe my worth disappeared with that wedding ring. I thought I was an extra piece. But tonight, among those strangers, I realize I'm still whole. I still deserve to be heard, to be shared with, to belong. So if you're listening to this story, if you're sitting alone in your car, in a cramped rented room, or at the corner of some diner on a holiday, if you feel like you're the only one the world forgot, if you're staring at your phone and wondering why everyone seems happy except you, please hear me. You are not alone. The loneliness you feel is just a lie fear tells you. Look around, lift your head from your screen, maybe right next to you, or at the table across the room. Someone else is waiting for a glance, a smile, a connection, just like you. Don't wait for a perfect family to find you. Build one yourself. From broken pieces, from strangers, from imperfect moments. Like Brenda's cracked pumpkin pie, sometimes the things that aren't whole bring the truest sweetness. My name is Sarah, and tonight, I'm not invisible anymore. What about you? Are you ready to open the window of your heart? Maybe, just maybe, someone out there is holding a slice of pie, waiting to share it with you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of us, the imperfect but beautiful pieces.